When you purchase the swing templates, you will notice that there are 2 pieces of plastic template actually in the kit. On each one there is a square and a circle aperture. So you can choose which one you're going to work with. I'm going to show you the simplest way first, and I'm going to use the large one to demonstrate this. Take a piece of A4 card and take your template. Your template wants to be turned like so that the logo is more to where the centre of the card is, and pop the template on the bottom edge of the card. Take your pencil and mark across the top where the template is. Now this is to make a card that will end up going in a 6x6 envelope. Now you will notice here there is a notch and a notch across what's going to be the top of the card, and a notch here and a notch here across the bottom of the card. Now at this point you need to decide whether you're going to be making a circle or a square aperture. I'm going to make a square in this instance, so I'm going to be marking the 4 corners that appear on the template around the outside. And then you must always mark the notches here, which actually come off the circle part of the template. Once you've done that, leaving the template in position, take a scoring tool and score down the edge of the card which is nearest to the logo. Then slide the template across so that you get the height right. So now we can take our pencil again and pencil across the top. We don't want the notches this time, just the straight line. And then we have our beginning of the card. So now I'm going to slice this top section off, and I've prepared one earlier, so I'll just remove that and fetch this one in place. And this is the one that's already been marked earlier. What we're going to do first of all is we're going to take a ruler and a scoring tool, and where our notches are lined up here, they go all the way through the card. But what we want to do is we only want to score from notch to the outer edge, from notch to the outer edge. The same goes for the next set here. So as you see, I've moved this along, and I'm going to take it from the notch to the outer edge and from the notch to the outer edge. Now what I'm going to do is take my knife and cut the rest. So we're going to cut out the square. So I'm going to begin by placing my knife here on the top there, pulling it down to stop here. I'm going to rotate it now so that at all times I can see where I'm starting and stopping on the pencil lines. Now once you put this in position here, we're not going to cut across. We're going to cut from the corner to where we've done the notch and the crease here. Then we're going to start again on the pencil mark, which is where we've scored, and fetch it to the corner. Once again rotate and taking it across. This time we can go all the way through from the corner, whoops, right to the very edge. Put a new blade in, as I always like to do, and sometimes it scalps the side of my ruler. And here we go again on this last bit. So we enter that corner to the notch, from the notch to the corner, and there we have it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this crease here that we placed the template on and fold it forwards and press it down. Now if you turn the card completely over, this part here that you've cut, push through until it goes down. Now because you've pre-creased, it's very, very easy and straightforward. And then the last section we're going to push forward. Just push that where I've made that, that's it. So here we go, and push forward like so. Then we have our basic single swing, and that's using the square section. Now I'm going to just show you a couple of made up designs. If I'd used the circular one, this is what we would look like. So there we have the circle. So that shows you, using the same template, if I've used it as a circle, I would be able to achieve that. And as a square, decorated, here's one. And a nice little thing you can do with these is when you open them, you can actually put a design on the other side of your swing section. So that makes quite an interesting alternative. Having shown you the basic ideas of using the swing template, where we only did a square or a circle aperture, here I have done an arch top aperture and a rectangular aperture, and these will fit in a larger envelope, a C5 envelope, but of course they're the full height of the piece of A5 card. So I'm going to show you how we achieve this. We take our template and on a piece of A4 card we push the template to the top of the card. Again, the logo must be to the inside and edge of the card, and we're going to mark the notches at the top, and we're going to set off. I'm going to do an arch. We're going to do the section of the notch here and the beginning of the circle, so the notch in the centre and the beginning of the circle. Then I'm going to slide the template down to the bottom of the card and elongate it, and this time I'm just going to do the two bottom squares, and not forgetting the inner notch and the edge notch. And of course at this stage again I find it easier if you take the template whilst it's in position and score all along the edge, because this is going to be our first fold. So now I can take the template away, and as before I'm going to be taking the ruler and I'm going to be scoring the notches. So from the middle notch to the bottom, the middle notch to the bottom, slide the ruler over so I can see where I'm going again, and from the middle, there we go, and the middle to the outer edge again. So this time we just need to elongate our shape here. So I've taken it from the square and I've gone up to meet the circle. So that's the shape that we're going to cut out. So by taking your knife and popping it on the circle section, you can come round, and I always tend to use the ruler once I come to the straight area. So I'll pop the ruler on there to fetch it to the bottom. And again from the other side, we need to come across the bottom, but not going through the centre stage here. So I'll fetch this down here and stop at the notch, commence again at the next notch, take it to the corner. Once again I'm going to use the ruler as a straight edge to come down. Oops, I'm afraid I am left-handed, ladies and gentlemen, you may have noticed this, and I'm working on my right hand. So there we are for here. You keep the knife in position and just actually turn the card round upon the board, you'll find you're in a much more comfortable position to continue this. So now I will just make sure that everything's going through correctly. Just a little bit at the bottom, here we go. Just take that right down. There we are. So just as before, the first crease I'm going to make is going to be the score mark that we made on the edge of the template. And turn the card over. The second one, you're going to push everything through so that the slides that you cut comes forwards and crease down level, and this section goes forwards and crease down level. And there we have an arch. So this shows you how you can elongate it. You could make this into an oval by using the aperture as a circle at the bottom as well as the top, or a rectangle by making the top a square as well as the bottom. So that gives you another 3 options of shape, and don't forget size, because you also have the baby template. So you could also make this to go in a 10 by 10 centimetre envelope, and again you can still do a curved top, but you can't do a rectangle of course, unless you wish to make the card to suit your size and you want it to go in a C6 envelope. Then of course you have 3 full choices again. If you start to count this up, you can already see how absolutely amazing this template is for all the sizes and shapes that you can do. And now I'm going to show you a little gallery of other ways of using it. Here are just 3 cards that I'm going to show you using the baby template. So just as previously, here we have the one that's made from the circle. So you see, it can be quite fun if you put a detail on the back of the card as well. These would make great little gift tags on their own. So there we have the circle, and here I have the square. So nice and straightforward, but let's imagine what we can do by putting the 2 on a larger piece of card. So here we have one, and all I have done is I've placed the template on a piece of card twice to create this. So I'll just briefly run through that for you. So here we have a piece of A4 card. All we need to do for this is, as before, we place the card onto the template onto the card. So here we have the bottom left corner, and if you notice here, this section is wider here than here. It's always the wider section that goes to the middle. Now on the large template our logo is here to help you remember, and the top and bottom of the template is always denoted by the notches on the outer edge. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to place this on the bottom edge, notch, 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 and I'm going to go for my little circle all the way around, notch, notch. I don't need to mark these notches here, because what I'm going to now do, I'm going to slide this to the top of the card or wherever I wish it. If I didn't place it to the top of the card, that leaves room for a message here. If I wish to place it to the top of the card, that leaves room for a message here. So if I place it right to the very top, we're going to notch, 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 complete the circle and make the other notches at the bottom. So I'm not going to go through cutting all this one out for you. We've seen the end result. If I take this away, I can show you what we're going to do now. Is we're going to start the notch on the bottom. We're going to stop it at the first point, start at the top of the circle, finish at the bottom of the next circle. Start at the top, continue right off. So I'm sure by showing you this, you can work out how you can do more. You can have a circle and a square and a square, a circle and a circle, an arch and an arch. The choice is yours. Once again, with the little one, what you will do is you will place the template upon the card, and you will score down the side to give you your first fold. Now, if you wish to make something really special, what you can do here is turn it over like so and repeat it on this side. And this is what you can make if you do this. Here's an A4 card, and I did this using the square section. And we can open this, and as you see, we have the little cupcakes on the inside, and I did the same to the other end. So look how amazing this looks. There's so much you can do with this. So that's just using it 4 times, and that is so much fun to receive. So your recipient can receive it like this, open it up, different images, and it can stand like so on the mantelpiece. Now I think that's great fun. Now you can also go much, much bigger, of course. By playing and experimenting, you will soon discover that you can use your template on huge cards. Now this one is a full A4 and will go into an A4 envelope. And the next thing I'm going to show you is going to be even more fun. Now look at this. This is something very different. Look at it expand. Now this is using the large template, and I've created 3 forward folders. You could put photographs or anything in this, and this folded down will still go in a C5 envelope. And here's a baby one with some little poodles and dogs on, and again this will go in a C6 envelope, and I will come to show you how to do this one as well. So this is our 3 forward fold card. So you're going to need 3 sections of card if you're going to do the little one, which is to fit inside a C6 envelope. If you wish to do the next one, you can go 3 times is perfect for a C5. And if you want to go 4 or 5 times, then obviously you will need a bigger envelope. I'm going to do 3. First of all, we place the template upon the card, and we place it in the usual position so that the logo is to the centre of the card. This time we're not going to mark all the notches, we're only interested in the ones closest to the logo here. So that's notch, notch, and the bottom square, the top square nearest to the logo, and the 2 notches nearest to the logo. And then we're going to pencil across the top, because by making it only this high, and making it only 3 sections wide, it will still fit in the C5 envelope. So I've penciled the top because that's the width I wish to cut off, and then I'm going to take my scoring tool and I'm going to score down the edge next to the logo as we have done every other time, so that that's where we get our first fold. So I've cut one down to size earlier, which is here, and you can clearly see the marks. I'll go through those again with you. So the notches are the ones that are closest to the logo. So notch, 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 square angle, square angle. So we're only going to be cutting out half of this time. So if you start by putting your ruler on and remembering that we don't score all the way through, we start on the inner pencil line to the outer, the inner to the outer. So there's our score line. Then we take our knife and we're going to cut the half a square out. So I'm going to take it from my corner to my corner, and then I'm going to spin, making sure the width is right. I'm going to take it from this corner and I'm going to stop at the pencil and score line. And again, I'll turn it around so I can see it. I do cut better if I use my left hand. And then from the little notch to the corner. So there we have it. Now what we're going to do is, as we have done previously, this is our first fold here. And this time we only do the one fold. So as you see, it's not quite coming up to the section here. So then, if you imagine, you've done 2 more, and we're going to join them together. So there we have all 3 sections. So to tape it, you need to put tape on the reverse side of this section which folds out here. This is the part that sticks out the most. So we're going to ease this in behind it till it goes up to the crease and fasten down. There we have our first one. So I'm going to put tape on the last one for you, just to make sure you get this absolutely right. So it's the back of this section here. So if I pop that down, and I can pop the tape right up to the crease and right up to the edge. And what I tend to do is make sure it's down firmly. Sometimes I use the back of my scissors, and then I can slide my pricking tool or a knife in and easily get rid of the excess tape. So again, this part here is going to slip into here, like so. So pop it behind there and fold it firm. So there you have it. By doing it square to the height it is and doing it 3 times, that will go in a C5 envelope. I'm going to run through it once more, but this time I'm going to do it in a big one, and you're going to see how many more actual widths you could get on there if you wished. So here we have it again. This is 3 sections, and I'm going to do a 4th one for you and join it on, and you will see that we could actually put 5 and it would still fit in a C4 envelope. So we have another piece of white card, and this may just help you remember again how to make it so that you can elongate it and make rectangles, ovals and arches. So the template is onto the card, the logo nearest to the middle. The notches are going to be marked nearest to the logo and on the bottom there. Now this time I'm going to push it to the top of the card again, thereby elongating it into a rectangle. So notch, notch and corner. And again, it just makes life so much easier because it's so accurate if you do it while you're at this stage. Put my crease in. So now I need my knife, and once again, we're only doing half of this. So we're only doing sort of the corner to the corner that we've penciled on. And then from the corner to the notch. I do find that if you actually pencil and do all your embossed notches first with your scoring tool, it's easier to see on your card. especially if you're going to be using a darker coloured card. So there we are, make sure we've got that. So once more, this is your first fold, turn it over, push through, and that is your second fold. So then our tape needs to be fastened to this section here. So I'll just spin it round, put my 2 lengths of tape upon it. What I sometimes do, if you're using tape and a pricking tool, how I tend to do, is use the back of your scissors like that. It really firms down your tape and removes any air bubbles that you may have. It makes it so much easier to slide the tape off. So here we have our jumbo one. We've got 3 sections here. Turn this over, so again it's in the right order. We can see where we're putting it, and we're going to slide it behind here. Now I'm sure all of you will know wonderful tips and ways to make sure it's square, to do it even neater than I have. Now that's 4 sections. What an absolute whopper of a card this is. So imagine if you have alphabets or a cry cut and you can put large letters on the front. You can make a lovely personal message with these, and that is only 4 wide. You can go 5 wide and it will still fit inside a standard A4 envelope. And now I'm going to show you how to do the double-ended one like this. Very simple. Again, don't forget all the different sizes and all the different shapes you can do. So add another one onto this. The amounts you can do with this are quite unbelievable. All you need to do is, as we have done before, you choose your own shape, whichever you would like to do. And here I have chosen the square again. Whichever one, I would recommend that you do both sides the same. So I've drawn around the notches, taken the square corners, drawn the notches, creased my side. So you have your standard, as we've already done in the beginning, your standard swing. Now if you just look at this, all you need to do is create 2. And that is the one that went to this side, and your second one would go to that side. All you need to do is take a piece of card at the back to join them onto, and away you go. So once again, don't forget, we have circles, we have squares, we have rectangles, ovals and arches, and in 2 different sizes. I'll let you do the maths because that's always been my weak point.